Hey everyone, today we are talking about chapter 11 in the book, The Power of a Praying Wife, and the subject is his health. And I really loved the story that Stormie shared at the start of this chapter because it reminded me so much of my story. You know, when Lance and I were first married, I knew we were in trouble when one of the first meals he prepared for me was macaroni and cheese with cut up hot dogs. So I figured out at that point that I should probably encourage him in regards to his eating habits. And of course, that was completely ineffective. And unfortunately, I never really thought to pray about it. But God graciously intervened. You know, if I had that preacher voice, I would have said, but God intervened. And we were at church one Sunday, and there was a man named Jordan Rubin there who was sharing his testimony about some health challenges that he had dealt with. And it had gotten to the point for him where he was in a wheelchair and was really just fighting for his life. And he had been to multiple doctors and tried all different kinds of treatments and nothing was working. So he decided that he was going to change his approach in regards to his diet and just what he was putting into his body. And that's when he saw his health turn around. And I'll tell you, when Lance heard that teaching, that's when something clicked. And you know, all of my years of nagging weren't able to accomplish what God was able to do in a 30-minute teaching. And you know, since that point, Lance has just exercised consistently and he has been eating better. And in fact, as I was preparing this lesson, he was eating asparagus. So we've really come a long way. You know, and maybe all of this would have happened a lot sooner if I had used that shut up and pray method that Stormie had referred to in the chapter. So here's the really great thing. We serve a God who heals, but he's also put in place these natural laws that when we take care of our bodies, they will usually respond in the way that God designed them to. So Stormie encourages us to pray that our husbands will have the desire and the motivation to exercise and to take care of themselves. You know, but this doesn't mean that we don't have a part to play. We can still encourage him in regards to his health, but we can't encourage him to do something that we are not doing ourselves. You know, so a few years ago, I actually decided to run a 5K and my husband joined in with me. So that was the first and last time he did it, but that's okay because it was something we got to do together and it was something that was good for us. So one last point just before we close in regards to his health. You know, as we said, God, of course, is a healing God, but sometimes it seems like people don't get healed and the report comes back and the tumor is cancerous, or someone has just been dealing with pain and it's not going away. So here's what Stormie says about that. Even though we pray and have faith, the outcome and timing are God's decisions. You know, we may not always understand, but we can always trust God. I just recently heard a story of a man who had battled cancer, and with everything in him, he said, I would not have changed that experience for anything. You know, so if your husband is dealing with a health challenge and you haven't seen the healing manifested yet, don't give up. Keep praying and just know that in the meantime, that God can speak to him and to you through all of this. So I want to know, have you seen God move in regards to your husband's health? And what did you learn as you read through this chapter? Next week, we will discuss chapter 12. So I will see you next Saturday. I hope you have a wonderful week. God bless you.